What are y'all doing?
Why are you in my house? Why are y'all in my house? Why are you in my house? Guys, I'm asking a question.
For what?
You're a body piercing, okay?
In your home.
He was not unlawful.
Body art without a license.
Guys, chill. What is really going on here? You got him?
Yes, I got all of it.
Guys, you're in the cameras. This is ridiculous.
Must be a violent offender there, as cops in Tontitown, Arkansas. Sorry, never heard of this little town. They walk into this man's house. As you can see, there's another kid there, older kid there, recording this whole thing as they snatch him and pull him out of the house and they arrest him. So what is it that he did? I mentioned that kid that was recording. It's his son, and he pierced his son's ear. Yes, pierced it. He was arrested for piercing his son's ear in a state where body art is banned on children under 16, regardless of parental consent. As this viral video arrest shows these 5 cops that ran up in this guy's house. I want you guys to just stop for a second. Let's pause and think about that again. He's arrested for this piercing in a state where body art is banned on children, regardless of parental consent. Think about the other things about parental consent that happen in states or are beginning to stop happening in states because politicians and folks who write these hateful bills don't want these parental rights to actually go into effect when it comes to their children. But piercing and body art in Arkansas is definitely a problem. Here's a mugshot of that father that was arrested. He seemed somewhat maniacally laughing at it when it happened. I guess he figured that it wasn't going to stick. His name is Jeremy Sherland. He's 45 years old. And again, he was arrested for doing it. They put him in they mentioned that his son mentioned at his school that his dad pierced his ear, was drunk, and did so, I guess, forcefully in a way. The word then spread, and it went on to the cops, who then came back and got his ass. They put him in chokehold and all that good stuff. Here's one. I want to read this first paragraph from the Tontitown's police response of this. They said on the 20th of April, the police department was contacted by a Springdale police school resource officer in reference to conducting a welfare concern on a juvenile male who resides in Tontitown. They stated that a male juvenile went to the school with a piercing in his left ear. While sitting in class talking with other students and a teacher present, the juvenile male stated that his dad was drunk and put him in that chokehold before piercing his ear. So they first went and checked in on it. He even said so in the video what it is that happened. So this is the son's response to what it is that happened before they then came and got him.
Piercing his son's ear without a license. Takes 3 cops, 4 cops, coming into my house without permission. No permission. They busted in my front door. This is the boy right here. He got a pierced ear by his dad. These cops busted in my door. Busted in the front door.
I wanted my ears pierced.
Cuffs on this boy for nothing. No.
So this is where it's possibly in debate, Burbank. Of course, we can only go off what we've seen and heard, but it's just sticking me with this odd law that the piercings thing is a problem in Arkansas. But he then said that back in, I wanted my ear pierced, but they were concerned that maybe it was forced on him.
Yeah, I'm really glad that that bit was in there. We know that the law is you can't have a piercing even with parental consent. But it matters to me because law and justice are not the same, that this kid actually did want the piercing. Cops don't write the laws, right? We elect people who make legislation. However, cops are responsible for choosing which laws to enforce, to what degree, sometimes with deadly force. That's a lot of unreasonable power. And when I think about maybe how those cops' time could have better been spent, I went and looked at what the backlog for rape kits is to be tested in the state of Arkansas, and the latest data shows it's about 300. So there were many better things those officers could have been doing on the clock, on the public's dime. And there are many states where the earliest age a child can get married is 12 years old with parental consent and a judge's consent. There are 43 states where a child can get married under the age of 18. Arkansas is one of the exceptions, actually, where you have to be 18. They're ahead of the curve. They passed that law in 2019. But it's still the case that police officers across the United States of America and legislators across the United States of America are passing laws that have absolutely nothing to do with justice and enforcing laws in a manner where justice is not prioritized.
Just normal things that people move through life that they're then legislating against. Think this is Arkansas. Again, Governor Huckabee Sanders there. They just passed a law about child labor laws to reel those back further. But then piercings. I want you guys to think about the number of 2-month-old babies that you've seen with piercings in their ears. And if it's ever happened in Arkansas, and how many folks just might be arrested over it. I would assume that's forced as well, because I'm not sure if a 2-month-old is like, hey, can I have that piercing at Claire's at the mall where some 15-year-old person's going to punch this into my ear? I'm sorry, 13 now, because they've rolled back some of those laws. But still, if you've noticed, by the way, it wasn't about the potential abuse. It was about the piercings. At least that's what it seems to be the case. These are the laws that we live with, you guys. This is what we're working with.